AskReddit by fine account. What is something that shouldn't be socially acceptable, but is? Going out to work when sick. You're spreading whatever you have to everybody else. It's not just acceptable, it's required. Tons of employers don't give a shit and will force you to come in, whether you're sick or not. Going to work while sick, especially in the food service industry. I think it's more on the companies, honestly. Very few people just show up to work sick for the hell of it. Either they can't afford to stay home, work is so short-staffed they are pressured to work through it, or they are in an at-will state where they could literally lose their job for taking too many sick days or being sick on an inconvenient day for the company. Edit. When I worked at Great Clips, I threw up in front of my coworker. It wasn't just like a little puke. My body kept forcing me to gag even after I had nothing left to throw up. I turned completely white, and they still tried to bully me into staying because they didn't want to close. Worshipping famous people. I think the problem is that you have to get to around the age of 30 before you realize that celebrities are dumbasses just like everyone else. They just have more visible jobs. Until you hit 30 though, there's this whole media machine in place that is incentivized to hype them up in order to make a quick buck themselves. Edit. There seem to be a lot of responses along the lines of, wow, you didn't know that Kim Kardashian was dumb until you were 30, what's wrong with you? Celebrity and vapidness are orthogonal. Nobel laureates can be celebrities. I don't think most people fully comprehend just how fallible great people are until their late 20s. That said, I do think social media is accelerating the awareness as more and more well-respected people get chances to post dumb shit. TL. Don't meet your heroes, kids. Glorifying politicians. They're supposed to work for us, not have celebrity-like status. Can I add glorifying celebrities too? People having to go into debt paying $10,000 plus to put their loved one's dead body in a box and then into the ground. Edit. I know life insurance exists, not everyone has responsible family that will do that, and it also shouldn't fall on one person to make sure everyone has it. Not claiming the body is easier said than done. Which is entirely optional. Standard burials need not cost anywhere near that, especially if you plan ahead and shop around. Cremation services might cost a tenth of that. Newborn kids having social media accounts. This has always truly weirded me out. My ex's sister-in-law does this with each of her 5 children. I honestly feel bad for the kids in the future because she posts some pretty embarrassing shit on those accounts, and I'm sure the kids are going to have to look at it and wonder why their entire lives were recorded for the whole world to see. I think she's setting them up to be influencers. Child beauty pageants. They are fucking creepy. People underestimate just how toxic child beauty pageants really are. All humans learn about love in childhood. We model our own relationships and acts of love based on what we experienced in childhood. If in childhood your experience of love and rejection was directly correlated to your looks, you will inevitably tie your personal value and lovability to your appearance. Putting your child into beauty pageants is a shortcut to raising a person with a whole host of emotional problems. Working 60 hours a week. In Germany, in the IT sector, I would be killed if I worked more than 50 hours a week. Our workers' council is pretty strict on our 37.7-hour work week. I do have flexible working hours. I can have -30 to +40 hours, but I can never work more than 10 hours a day. I like workers' rights, because it takes away the employer's chance to treat you like shit. A lot of people in this thread seem to be confusing socially acceptable with legal. You know the amount of fucked up shit you can do that's legal while other regular shit will put you in jail. This society makes no sense. Paparazzi. Just legalized harassment as far as I'm concerned. Not exactly socially acceptable. Most people hate them, it's just profitable. As a curly-haired person, touch my hair unprovoked. People are getting better about it over the years, and I imagine the pandemic had a lot to do with it. Too many people have just pulled a curl, stuck their hands in, or roughly stroked my head like a dog. WTF? Stroke their hair back next time. Forcing someone into bankruptcy because of medical debt. I broke my leg last year. No health insurance. Say hello to 60k debt. Putting the burden of paying the staff on the customers to tip. My local sub bar had a discussion started by a pizza delivery person about tips that became an echo chamber of tip your delivery person. I was just surprised no one thought about the employer having the burden of paying the employees, and I'm a conservative that's done freaking pizza delivery before. Being in a public place, restaurant, store, and having a conversation on speakerphone when what is being spoken is truly private but the one with the phone is too goddamn lazy to hold the phone up to their ear. You wouldn't believe how much blood there was. No, it was anal fissures. I guess I was constipated and the poop was just too large. Sometimes I guess, but when I do anal, I use plenty of lube. Maybe, but I've never heard of anyone lubing up before pooping. Lobbying. Honestly, if we're going to let companies control government policies by spending money, we may as well cut the BS and call ourselves anarcho-capitalism. People getting famous on social media for absolutely nothing at TF all. Especially when they aren't even entertaining, or they steal content. It has to bought there's no way millions of people love that bland chicken ass content. Surgeons performing surgery when they haven't slept for 24 hours. William Stewart Halstead developed the first formal residency program. The term residency came from the need to reside in hospital housing because of the long hours they needed to keep. Fun fact, he was very much addicted to cocaine, which was a contributing factor to the long hours. Begging on TikTok for money. GoFundMe things for health problems 1000% acceptable. Same with funerals. No problem. Wedding, honeymoon, luxuries? Nope. Walking slow or stopping in the middle of pathways like fucking move. Also, a group of people walking side by side blocking the entire width of the path. It is made worse by the fact that they are usually oblivious to anyone else trying to go the other way. Glorifying and encouraging feelings of jealousy and possessiveness in a relationship. This really needs to stop. Influencers on Instagram, TikTok and whatnot all make it seem all when my so goes somewhere I make sure to text him every 5 minutes or he's cheating on me. Fucking hate that most people will just agree and go along with it. Alcoholism. I see it portrayed in media as a suave and sexy detective sipping a martini at 11 o'clock when in reality it can ruin lives, lose people their jobs and kids, and kill people's livers. Waking up at 7 in the morning and reaching your shaking, trembling hand toward the vodka bottle so you can get up and do shit is not a joke or worthy of a one-liner. We need more realistic ideas of alcohol consumption pushed in our society if we want the next generation to be any better. I'm in my 30s and I absolutely hate how every single adult activity is centered on alcohol. It sucks. Littering cigarette butts. Playing loud music on your phone while out. Put some headphones on. That's become socially acceptable? I thought people just quietly tolerated because the person on public transport playing mumble rap loudly through their shitty iPhone speaker is more likely to stab you than agree to turn it off. Lifestyle influencers. They've no talent, creativity at all. I was just going to say, obsessively curating your online image and centering your life around social media. The fact that in the US we don't add taxes to the actual price tag. Why do I have to do math to figure out how much I'm paying? To make you angry about taxes. I'm pretty sure that's genuinely the reason. And it's stuck because the first shop to include taxes will go out of business because people will think it's too expensive. The same people who won't buy a 1-stroke 3-pounder burger because it sounds smaller than 1-stroke 4 to them. The way the entire pharma industry works. OMG. Sometimes I feel like they made it as hard as possible for people with ADHD to get their meds. I can't begin to imagine the struggles some people go through just to get their prescriptions. Making your political view your entire personality. Especially when you get all your info from headlines, the TV, social media, and you haven't read a book since the 10th grade. Right. Asking someone when you will have children and why not? Or have you been trying? How is it normalized to ask people about the sex lives? I'll never know. Yeah, we have been raw dogging it non-stop, but no luck so far, is a great response that appears to shut people like this up. Works every time. Charging more for healthy food options than unhealthy options. I know it's just the way the market has developed, but there are so many healthy food items that cost more or the same price as a mega burger or whatever. Imagine the obesity rate if it was cheaper to get something healthy and filling. Pretty much what Food Incorporated is about. It's much cheaper to feed you and your kids McDicks than a salad. It is exactly why people are obese. Sugar, shitty meat is far cheaper. Wife brought this up with me today, but when people ask when you're gonna have kids,